In our last storage video, we have learned that how many kind of storage options available we have in Azure. Just to recap, we have blob storage, we have file storage, table storage, and queue storage. Obviously, we can take and gain access of these storages and try to deploy our storage infrastructure for our usage. Definitely different organizations have a different requirement, so we should follow them and try to guide them to choose the right options for their deployment in terms of storage options. But the very next thing we need to understand while deploying storage account, we need to definitely choose the right kind of account type. Now, why does it matter to you and why you need to think about it? Let's try to understand in this video. Hi guys, my name is Harsh Changa, and in this video we are going to learn about configuring storage account options, which is actually the account option. And if you ask me again, we only have one better option in both of these Gen Purpose 1, or which is called General Purpose 1 and General Purpose 2. Even the Microsoft recommend to choose only General Purpose 2 because it has all sort of the latest features and advantages you can take from Microsoft, and because Microsoft keep deploying new features, new advantages, new services, new transport protocols, security, and a whole bunch of other advantages, and all those things you can get straight in this storage kind of type. Now, definitely you can have your question in your mind, then Harsh, if we only have a right choice, which is General Purpose 2, then why General Purpose 1 exists? Now, I have the answer for you, and let me share with you. Sometime to choose the right storage account type might be a difficult choice actually, but in this particular scenario, or you can say the option available in Microsoft Azure, I don't think so you find any difficulty after watching this video. It will be very much clear to you that which storage account type you should choose for your own environment. So guys, let's begin and try to understand that what kind of differences we can think of, or we have actually not think of in General Purpose 1 and General Purpose 2. The very first thing you need to understand that both of these storage, version 1 and version 2, does support all kind of storage options: queue storage, table storage, blob storage, and file storage. Obviously, disk storage is also be a part of these two different kind of storages, so you don't need to worry about that first. Now, if you move forward, that what other advantage and disadvantage we have is actually in General Purpose 1, whenever we talk about this, it's all about the legacy storage. When Microsoft has actually introduced the storage type, so they only introduced General Purpose 1 in the past, and actually the purpose was created for this one to support all sort of kind of storage options, or let's say whenever you create a new virtual machine, you need a storage type. And yeah, General Purpose 1 was there for the classic Azure VMs, but right now we all are using Resource Manager, or we call it ARM, Azure Resource Manager virtual machines, which means it does require a new generation storage account type. So actually General Purpose 2 is a very much recommended one for not for the only for the Azure VMs. It is also recommended for all sort of storage. Why? Because as I mentioned, it has all the new features, new advantages, and whenever Microsoft has trying to introduce any new feature, it directly come to General Purpose V2. It will never come to General Purpose V1. So actually I do not find any reason you choose General Purpose 1 actually here. But yeah, there are a few other things we need to talk about, and it will give you more information and more idea about those differences actually. So the very first discussion point I have is the tier. I think most of you already understood the difference between hot tier, cool tier, and archive tier. So let's try to talk about hot first. The hot tier means your storage is always available at any point of time, 24/7, 365 days, whole year. So whenever you need a storage, the storage is available for you. So whenever you talk about that concept, it covers in hot tier. So by default, whenever we create, we do have an option to choose between hot and cool, because even Microsoft not show that why you are trying to create a new storage account type and what is the purpose of that storage account actually. So The next one, if you trying to understand the difference between hot and cool, the next one is cool. So let's try to talk about that. So cool is like you don't need your storage all the time. So you can access your storage within 30 days. That's enough for you. So if you need that kind of requirement, then I think the cool storage would be better for you, because the hot tier and cool tier has a different pricing. So obviously, as you can make a sense here, that hot tiers is always an expensive one and cool tier is a little bit less. So but yeah, I'm not here to talk about the difference in the pricing, but yeah, certainly you can find more differences online in the Microsoft website to get more about that. So the next one, let's try to talk about the archive one as well. Usually the archive option only matters on the blob storage, because whenever we talk about the archive, it means it's very old. So whenever we're trying to think about the consumption of very much old data, or let's say we are trying to decommission data, but we don't want to delete that, so we can store that data into the Azure. We can choose blob storage for that, because that's the best option we have, and it has, you know, a huge storage we can choose right there. So I think archive would be the best choice to choose on the blob storage, and Microsoft has done exactly the same thing. So I will show you in this video from where you can find archive option whenever you're trying to plan to archive your information or whatever the storage you have stored in the blob storage. So I think you get the difference, but yeah, I told you what is hot, cool, and archive, but I do not tell you the differences between general purpose 1 and 2. So here it is. So if you talk about hot, cool, and archive, guys, this is only and only supported by general purpose V2. It is not supported by general purpose V1. So whenever we create a version 1, you don't find that kind of tier option, and I will show you in the practical when we are trying to deploy these storage types. All right, so I think you get the differences. Let's move forward and let's talk about the performances. So basically in both general purpose V1 and V2, you can find standard hard drive. I'm talking about here the hard drive performance and the premium hard drive performance. So basically, what is the difference between standard and premium? Although I have a plan to share with you more information in the Azure Virtual Machine creation and moreover in the storage later on, but let me give you some basic idea. So the standard, the disks, or you can say the storage we are talking about here, is all about the performance for the standard hard drive. For example, if you have a SSD, so whenever we talk about SSD, is directly related to premium storage. But when we talk about the standard HDD, which means normal hard drives, which has, in general, we talk about 7200 RPM, but here we are not talking about the RPM, we are talking about the IOPS, which is actually the performance data system. So I will talk about that later in the future video, but just remember, standard disks are definitely, the performance wise is low, but their pricing is also less as compared to premium storage, because premium storage consists all SSDs. Obviously, there are differences between SSD and standard HDD, because you can choose multiple kind of drives there. But again, leave that part for now. Let's move forward, because I don't want to make you confused right there. Anyway, next one, the differences between general purpose and V2 is, as I mentioned, that general purpose V1 and V2, we all support blob, files, disk, table, and queue storage. But there's one more, which is called Data Lake Gen 2. Actually, it is currently only and only supported by general purpose V2, because as I mentioned, this is a very much new kind of services provided by Microsoft, and any new service comes, it directly comes to general purpose V2. So choose general purpose V2 here. All right. And yeah, I forgot to mention that why you need to choose Data Lake Gen 2. Actually, Data Lake is all about big data analytics. So again, I'm not going to talk about here that much, but whenever we talk about the data analytics, which has a huge amount of data to be transferred and gather from the storage. So Data Lake Gen 2 would be actually should be supported on the general purpose V2, because it has all latest development feature. Let's move forward and try to understand storage replication here. So LRS, GRS, RAGRS, and ZRS. So basically there's a difference, and a very much big differences, although I'm not going to talk about in detail, but at least should give you the full name of this and try to give you some basic information. So if you choose LRS, which is local redundant services, the next one we have is GRS, which is geo redundant services. So by names you can easily understand that local redundant services is all about your data is going to be stay in one particular data center in one particular region. But when we talk about the GRS, geo redundant, it means your data will be replicated and copied safely to another geolocations in one situation to protect your data or to get your data redundancy. In case your data center is down, you can still have the access of your data anytime you want. So in general, by default, a GRS would be the right one, but again, pricing is involved, so I think you definitely have to think about the money factor here, because if you choose GRS, it's going to be a little bit expensive than LRS. And the next one is RAGRS. RA means read access. So yeah, it's also a part of read-only access. But again, I'm not going to talk about in detail about this right now. And the next one is zone redundant services. So these are the storage replication services. So we can choose leniently based on our requirement, our long-term plan. Because let's take an example. If I have to choose the right storage replication, I think I should go for GRS. Why? Because in my long term, I really need to think if any natural disaster happened on the data center where I stored my data, then I need to access my data all the time. And I think GRS would that options and features available, it can help me to make sure my storage is always available, even though my primary store or data center or the region is down for some reason. So yeah, I think that to be all for to make you understand. So let's move forward. And another important differences between these two are the sizes. So guys, actually if you talk about I think I write down 500 GB. My mistake. It's go to approximate 5 terabyte if you choose general purpose V1. Apologies for my typo there. I will correct in Hindi video whenever I create. So the second one is the 5 petabyte, which is means in general purpose V2 we can get more than enough, much more than enough 5 petabyte data storage in general purpose V2. So guys, now we just get the differences between these two, and I think you can get all the differences here. And by understanding all the differences, I still recommend to choose general purpose V2. But let's do our journey from general purpose V1 to general purpose V2 and try to show you the differences between these two kind of a storage account type. So it will give you more idea that how you can choose and what are the best options available for you in terms of the practicality. Obviously from the theoretical concept, I'm 100% sure you are clear now, right? All right, let's move forward to the practical. So guys, we finally on Azure portal, and I think you already know how to access it. Just for your information, you need to go to portal.azure.com and then just type in your username and the password. As soon as you logged in, you can see this page. So now, as soon as you can see the page, either you can search here or simply you can find a storage account in case you have created a new storage account recently. So simply click on storage account, because as soon as you click inside this storage account, you can find the kind of storage you have created in the past. So if you remember, I had created this Harsh personal storage, and I choose here storage version 2, right? So it means that we choose version 2 or general purpose version 2 kind of storage type while we create this. And as I mentioned, by default, Microsoft choose this option for us. But where we can see this option and how we can choose general purpose V1 in case we have a legacy purpose to use, or let's say we have a REST API for the legacy operating system or the past operating system, and we need to associate a storage account accordingly to choose or use our classic VMs, or you can choose any number, but just think about the legacy, the old stuff actually. So for that we need to actually create a new storage account. And as soon as you click on create a new storage account, you can find a place where you can choose the subscription. So first choose the subscription, then choose any resource group you have created. I have already created this one and I choose Harsh Arena VM group, which is absolutely fine with me. Now give the name of the storage account type, but make sure choose all lower characters, don't choose the capital ones here. So I choose Harsh Arena Practice. Yeah, it is fine with us. So now we just give the name. Now the very important thing, I need to choose the region, which I think you already know that which region should be fine with you. Here as an example, I choose East US2 because it has all sort of features, availability sets, availability zones. I mean, you just name it, all sort of features is available in this particular region. So that's the reason I don't want that. I can show you, hey, this feature is not available at the moment, or this feature is missing here to show you. So it's better to choose the right region for us to at least do the practice. Now let's move forward. And here you can find the performance. As I mentioned, we can choose any one of them, premium, storage. Up to you, because accordingly you can find a chase. If you choose a premium, it automatically show that all sort of premium features or premium performance has SSDs. You don't need to worry about anything, and which has a great performance, and it's always available for you. Anyhow, if you choose a standard one, here you can choose, access tier, which is next one. So in access tier you can choose cool and hot. I think you already know the differences. I should go with the hot here because I have a requirement where I have to choose my storage account all the time, 24/7. And after that, I have to choose what kind of storage type I need to choose here. Now, the first one is storage version 2, which is a by default one. Another one we can choose is general purpose V1. Now, if you can see, I choose general purpose V2, and you can find the option called cool and hot in the tier. But as soon as I choose general purpose V1, you can see this option is gone now, right? And that's exactly I mentioned in the differences, that whenever you choose version 2, you only find the latest feature, and all the tier, hot, cool, and archive tier option is only available in version 2. So as an example, because I would like to show you that how you can choose or convert your general purpose V1 to general purpose V2, I should choose here as a general purpose V1. So I choose here one, and simply I don't want to touch any one of other steps. Sorry for my voice here. So actually just click on review and create, and after that simply click on create. So it will take definitely some time, and after that our account will be created and ready to use. So guys, we are back here and our deployment has been finished for the general purpose V1 storage account type. But right now, just to show you, because it might confuse some of you, whenever you create this version 1 storage kind of type, and if you click on storage account, you will not find sometime the information you have created or general purpose V1 type kind of storage. So basically what you need to do, you need to go to the storage accounts classic one, and you can find your storage account type. So remember that. Anyhow, just to show you the differences, I can click here on general purpose V1, and I would like to show you that what kind of information you can see in general purpose V1. So the first thing you can find, you don't find a tier here. Any tier information is available. You cannot even find any more details about how you can change to hot and cool at the moment. But if we click on any general purpose V2 storage account, and you can find the differences there. Let me even bring this on the 2 different screens so that it will be easy for you. Hold on a minute. Let me try to create this one in this way. Yeah, I think this would be easy for you to see the differences between these 2 kind of storage type. So on the left hand side, I have general purpose V1, which you can see right here. And another one we have on the right hand side is general purpose V2, correct? So both of deployment has been successfully finished. And the biggest difference you can find is in this particular general purpose V2, you can choose the location, right? Can you see the location? Because right now there are 2 locations. Why is it so? I will talk about that later. But before that, we have this tier option, hot, cool, whatever, but you don't find the same performance in the tier right here, although both has standard ones. And here you can see the replication type. On the version 1, I have choose local redundant storage, and here I choose read access geo redundant storage. So as I mentioned, you can choose certain these types, and as you can see, containers, which means blobs, file, tables, queue, all sort of storage options available on both version 1s. Right? I think you are very much clear about these differences. Now let's try to move forward and imagine your organization has suggested you to change storage version 1 to version 2 because currently you are not using any legacy services or any classic virtual machine in Azure, and you would like to use all best features from Microsoft, all the new features from Microsoft. So in that regard, what you need to do if you like to change or convert your version 1 to version 2, the very first step, you need to go to the configuration. So click on configuration here, and as soon as you click here, you can find the option called upgrade. Okay, so as soon as you click on this, you can find, just give the name of the storage account. And remember guys, if you choose from version 1 to version 2, there is no comeback from version 2 to version 1 as a general purpose storage account type. So remember that if you're doing this, that means it is gonna be changed permanently to version 2. So as soon as you give the name of your storage account and click on upgrade, just in a couple of seconds, you will find that this particular step has been completed, and now your account is ready with version 2, and which is actually a great sign because it does not require any downtime. You don't need to worry about your data, your storage, and all sort of thing. So let's go back and click on overview, and here you can see it now currently show you the option for the tier, which is hot, and currently you can see it is changed now successfully to general purpose version 2. Correct? So I think you get much more understanding on that regard. So the last option I would like to show you is archive, because in the tier it is very much important, and I told you that this option is only you can find in the blob storage, but where you can see this information, let me show you just for your reference, just for your knowledge. So basically to understand this and to change your blob storage to archive from hot, so click on containers. Now first step is you need to click the plus container here and give the name of the container type. So I give the name practice data. Oh guys, don't use capital. Actually, I have a very bad habit to always use capital letters. So anyway, don't do that. All right, permission doesn't matter for now at the moment. So I just need to choose or create a new container. Simply, I create the container. As soon as I click on this, and I would like to upload some information here so that it will be easy for you to understand that, hey, some file is available here. So I choose my backup file, open, upload, and file is gonna be uploaded successfully here. All right, so now let's imagine that this file or many other files are stored already in this container for a longer time. Now your company has decided to put this into archive model, but remember, you have to access this container within 180 days at least once. So do that. What you need to do, you need to click on this, or choose this particular container, and after that click on change tier. As soon as you click on change tier, from here you can see hot, cool, and archive. You can choose any one of them, and based on your requirement, your step, your actually blob storage is converted into this kind of tier, and based on that you can access and start accessing your storage data within blob. So I'm pretty sure you now better have the understanding on all sort of kind of storage account type. You also understood that why you need to choose general purpose version 2, and also you need to understand that what is the differences between version 1 and 2, because it's going to be very much helpful when you're trying to deploy your infrastructure. Yeah, there are a few things I am keep repeating in this video because I don't want you will miss when I do the practical. I may not explain these things again and again. All right, so stay there with me, stay tuned, and you will try to understand everything from very much in detail in upcoming videos in terms of practical as well. But this will give you much more confident to start at least using Azure Portal and start using these services in Azure platform. So as a final step, let's go back to our slide and try to understand and try to talk about one more time. Set general purpose one, version 1 for legacy use. In case you have an older legacy virtual machines, REST API, only then. And for all, great features from Microsoft, which Microsoft usually introduced all the time, please choose general purpose v2 always. Also, in case you have a general purpose v1, you have a great advantages if you convert general purpose v1 to general purpose v2, and I think you all should do that. Alright guys, and now that to be all for today, and I hope you find this video quite informative and helpful. So in case you like it, please share, please comment. In case you have any other suggestion or you want me to improve in anything, and any other suggestion for other videos, please share with me, because I certainly have a plan to complete our Azure Architect certification. After that, I do have certain plan, but based on your feedback, I will prioritize them and try to start giving some trainings and giving you much more details, information on that. So yeah guys, that to be all for now. Please take care of your health. It's a COVID-19 situation. I'm keep repeating in every video because we need to take care of us and take care of our family. So guys, for now, please enjoy your time, stay at home, safe, and stay happy. I really love whenever people are happy and keep learning, keep improving every day. Thank you. Bye-bye. Peace.